At the hospital after my transplant, my cousin looked at me and said, she told me this day would come eventually. I was 32 when my kidneys started failing. Genetic condition. Doctors said I needed a transplant or I had maybe 2 years left. My whole family got tested. Parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, nobody matched. I was put on a waiting list they said could take 5 years. I didn't have 5 years. Then my mom called. She said she found someone. A cousin I'd never met from my dad's side. Distant relative. Grew up in another state. He got tested on his own after hearing about my situation and he was a perfect match. I'd never even heard his name before. But 3 weeks later, he was in pre-op volunteering to give me a kidney. Everyone called it a miracle. A stranger showing up out of nowhere to save my life. I called it that too. Until I woke up from surgery and he said something that didn't make sense. I didn't sleep that night. Kept replaying what he said. She told me this day would come eventually. I texted him the next morning. Asked if we could talk. He didn't respond. I called. No answer. I called my mom. She picked up but her voice was off. Tight. Controlled. I asked her who he really was. She said he was a cousin. I told her he said something strange. She asked what. I told her. She went quiet. I asked her again. Who is he? She said we should talk in person. I told her I wasn't waiting. She said some things are complicated. I said uncomplicated. She took a breath. Said your father made mistakes before we were married. I felt my chest tighten. I asked what kind of mistakes. She said the kind that don't go away. I asked if he was my brother. She didn't answer. I asked again. She said yes. I asked how long she'd known. She said since before you were born. I asked why she never told me. She said because I was waiting for the right time. I asked what made now the right time. She said because I needed him to save you. She didn't wait for me to ask. The second I walked through the door, she started talking. She said I know you're angry. I said angry doesn't cover it. She said let me explain. I told her to go ahead. She said when your father had the affair I found out before anyone else. The woman told me. Thought I'd leave him. I didn't. I asked why. She said because I was pregnant with you. I wasn't going to raise you alone. I asked what she did instead. She said I handled it. I asked how. She said I contacted the woman. Told her I knew. Told her I'd pay her to keep the child away from our family. Monthly payments. For as long as she needed. I asked what the woman got in return. She said stability. A check every month. Enough to raise him. I asked what my mother got in return. She said insurance. I asked what that meant. She leaned forward. Said I knew that child carried your father's genes. The same genes you carry. I asked what that had to do with anything. She said genetic conditions run in families. I felt my whole body go cold. I asked if she planned this. She said I prepared for the possibility. I asked for how long. She said since the day I found out she was pregnant. I asked if she always knew I might need him. She said I didn't know which one of you would need the other. I just made sure one of you would be available. I asked if he knew. She said I told him when he was 18. I asked what she told him. She said that one day I might call, and when I did, he would give us whatever we needed. I asked what would happen if he said no. She said I told him the money would stop, and I'd tell his mother why. I asked if she was proud of this. She said I'm proud you're alive. I walked out without another word. I had a brother my whole life, and my mother turned him into a contingency plan. I'm alive because of her. I'll never forgive her for it.